Okay, thank you for that. Welcome to the Outward Realms, the first preview 2022. Super stoked to be here. Thank you, everybody, for the folks who are joining us. As most of you know, we just got back from the Las Vegas Open, uh, just literally a couple days ago. And that was our first booth, as well as our first two official events, which I have to say I was extremely um, enthused and pleased with the level of support and attendance and just people coming to the booth and coming to the events and playing and having their own painted armies. It was very exciting to have that. And next year, for 2023, we will be much bigger. My goal is to at least double the size of the OR event. And of course, we will have an ACTA event at the same time, unsurprisingly, because that will be out by then, but we'll get to that. So at the booth at LVO, we did over 50 demos. So that was a lot, pretty crazy. And I mean, what can you say other than it's amazing to have that many new people come and see your thing for the first time and get to play and then be excited. So cool. It's so big. So thank you for everyone who was able to make it. If you didn't make it this time, let's go next time because it's only going to get bigger and better from here. So that was LVO. We did all make it back successfully, and we're back to talk about a little bit about the next couple of events that we have coming up. We have the Arizona Game Fair in the middle of March, second weekend of March, I believe, 10th through the 13th. That's in Mesa, Arizona. We will be there. We are not running events. It is just going to be a booth for that one, but we will be present. So if you're already going to the Scorched Earth Open, which is a large 40K event, or you were going there for another reason, stop on by and come and see us. In Memorial Day weekend this year, KublaCon is a big Bay Area tabletop event, and it is local to the team. We will be there in force. We already have a booth. We are working on getting an event going if we can. If not, we will do our best to support open play and have folks show up. On a smaller scale, this end of February, we will be doing a meet and play. We will it's our intent to do multiple of these, especially where it's easy around the Bay Area to do so. So come on by, bring people who are interested. We will have painted armies with us, so you don't have to have anything but the time and the people. That's the intent for those. I will say that other than LVO next year, we are thinking about some other large events. So to try to get some coverage, we will keep everyone up to date on those. Certainly not gonna hide being there. All right, let me look through the chat real quick. And silky forehead. Yeah, it's true, Drew. This beard and this smooth head. Okay, well, let's go into the first big topic, which is uh, branding and boxes, and some of the confusion that kind of stemmed from our inexperience, as well as how Kickstarter does things and how we sort of want to do things going forward. In the Kickstarter, we had what we called starter boxes. We had 1v1 deals. They were like bundle deals. And then at that time, we were calling them, I think, battle forces. And so there was some branding confusion there. Those were mainly different tiers so that people in Kickstarter could get rolling. Um, I will say that initially, for many months, I was very reluctant to do a starter box, because I thought that, to get the best possible experience, you wanted that 45 to 50 point game, et cetera, et cetera. A little bit prideful on my part. Not afraid to admit when I'm mistaken, because the overwhelming majority of folks, at the LVO and then prior to that were like, "Hey, I want to get into this, but the price point is really high for a game that's new to us." And or some people were like, "I just want some models, but like there's no like bundled way to do that." And so I had initially made those reinforcement packs less than, I think, about a week ago. But I was like, well, what is this really doing other than getting getting folks who are already involved to maybe be able to get their lore roster kind of rolling? And so I went ahead and I got rid of those. They're gone now. So they were there very briefly. I think a couple people got some, and then now they're out. I am replacing them with the new starter box. These are going to hang around. They're not going anywhere. They are actually a starter box. So they're between, let's say, between 17 and 20 points, 4 units per box. But most importantly is the price point. So we did a lot of juggling and moving things around and just making it work. And so all the starter boxes are going to be 75 bucks USD, which I think is really a great price point for new people to get started, as well as for folks who are just, I think it's the bare minimum to kind of like get your head around the game. I think it can play on a 4x4. It can also play on maybe like a 3x3, with like 5 activations per side, something like that. But really, you'll look at the rules, you'll make it work for you. But it is a great way to get people involved. And if anything, all those demos that we showed, which were 20-point forces with 3 units per side, showed us that the game does still hold together, mostly, I would say, even on a 2x2 table with something that small, with 5 activations per side. So I want more people playing. I want more people able to engage with that. If they already have an existing army box, I would like them to be able to expand that army box in a reasonable way. So, and of course, the individual units are still available, et cetera, et cetera. But there you go. They're already up on the store. You you can go after them to your heart's content. Okay, so that's a repackaging of a product. Not terribly exciting, but it is important to go into. Um, I now, for TTS, we have our tabletop simulator modules. We've got our ACTA, and we are called Arms, and of course we have the original Outward Realms. The team was in charge of ACTA. That module was really, really well done. It's not going anywhere. We're just going to keep adding to it. We love it. It's great. The OR one was community driven, and I'm so thankful to the community for doing that, to have something so that folks can play online. Our first actual event of OR was an online event. And so that was we were only able to do that because of everyone. We're going to take that over. Um, and we're going to make it better. We're going to add automation. We're going to add our models to it so that it's not the paper cutouts. We're going to add nicer looking maps, tokens, etc. Everything, the whole kit and caboodle. So expect that probably around Q2 of this year, maybe start of Q3, but it's coming. Again, free of charge. Don't charge anything for it. We just want the experience to be better, and we want to give people who don't have a chance to play in person uh, a way to do that. The same with ACTA. And ACTA, of course, that module is staying. Nothing changes. So it'll be a lot nicer overall. So expect that this year. Now, before we get to the really fun stuff, which we're pretty excited about, we've got to talk about the rule book. So the rule book has been a big thorn in my side and other people's side for sure. Um, so when I launched the game, I was already somewhat aware of problems that other game companies have had with having a print-based rules distribution. I'm just going to come out and say it. Games Workshop, in particular, suffered during COVID and the logistical issues, getting their rules out in a timely fashion. And if a big company like that can't get rules out in a timely way, I can only imagine that someone like me and us, a small team, just starting out, might, that could be really catastrophic for us. So, that was in the back of my mind. I've been back and forth on it, back and forth on it. Rule book, rule book, rule book. We're in the proofing phase of the rule book now. We effectively are just putting together some imagery, and then we're going to run it through our templating and then get a rule book going. The rule book, I have finally made a decision, and I hope that you all support it. the The decision is, the rule book, the rules to play the game themselves are going to be a living digital rule set. They will be updated once a quarter, so on a set schedule, so no surprises over when something got a change. They will come with a change log to show you what has been altered, um, and they will be, of course, available for free. Like the rules to play Outward Realms are free. That's not going anywhere. But we have a lot of people who both pre-ordered a rule book on our Kickstarter and who want a physical set of the rules. I completely understand that, and we're going to make that possible. So for all of our people who got it on Kickstarter, we're going to be reaching out to them in wave two, so like probably Q2 this year, and making them an offer. We're going to say, hey, you can get a nice, high quality print from Drive Through RPG, where our rules will be free. But if you want a printed copy, you'll be able to order it through there. Uh, so we'll get them a voucher for that if they want it, and that'll get them basically what they ordered with no problem. They can, if they want to just use the free digital rules, we can convert that money into store credit and they can turn that into models. We have no problem with that as well. And we will be providing two digital pieces. One will be the full rule book with all the lore and etc., everything all in one piece. And then it will also include the rules. And then we'll have a rules pack, which will be sort of similar to what we have now, with it, which is just the rules. And if people, I expect that people who might go to an event who want to have physical copies of the rules would probably just print out the rules pack, is my guess, and that will save them a bunch of effort and time. We'll keep it up to date. Like I said, the plan is quarterly, so 4 times a year. We'll have a look at it, and if any little changes or tweaks are required, that's when it's going to happen. This is the way that will let us um, keep the rules up to date, keep them free, and be able to make the kind of changes and updates that we want to do. As everyone knows, and the stuff, and we're going to go over it further during this stream, we have more stuff coming out, and I don't want to be in the business of putting out a book every year. It doesn't interest me, and I don't think it's a healthy way to do this. So we're biting the bullet. We're taking the hit now. Um, if you've gotten a rule book, you'll hear from us, and we will make that offer to you, and make sure you get taken care of one way or the other. Right? You'll get a physical copy of the rule book from Drive Through RPG sent to you, so you'll still get your thing. Or if you're like free rules or life, and I don't, and I'll print out what I need. You can turn that into credit, and we'll make you can turn it into models. So there's nothing wrong with that. So that is the plan for the rulebook. I'm going to post an update on Kickstarter as well, kind of detailing this. And yeah, if people have questions as to why this decision was made, or if whatever, come onto the Discord. I'm the sovereign on the Discord. I'm at the very top. And reach out and let's talk. Let's make sure you get taken care of and are happy with this. Okay, that's the rule book. That's like the painful medicine portion of the stream, but we have to go over it. The decision had to be made. And I honestly do think for the health of the game, it's really the modern approach. It's the way to go. So, rule book done. Yay. We've eaten our vegetables. Now I think it's time to get to some fun things. We have our ACTA, our A Call to Arms launch happening this year. It's one of the two big pieces we're pushing out. My goal, I would love to have the Kickstarter ready to go for A Call to Arms by Memorial Day, so that people who are at KublaCon, who visit the booth, who get a Call to Arms demo, are able to sign up immediately there at the booth for the Kickstarter if they want to. That's the goal. We'll see if we do it. I would love it. It's going to be huge. It's our second game. It's been available for free on TTS for months now, so the rules have been available for free, and there's no surprises there. More factions are coming, so be patient as we get those models kind of prepped and going. And yeah, that's where we're at with ACTA. You'll be hearing a lot more about it as we push on, but we're very, very, very excited and proud to be launching it. And that's myself and the Fleet Master on the Discord. So we're getting it going. I'm very happy. We've got now something new that people have not heard of that I can talk about. We have been invited by the Best in Tabletop Network, which is a network that just came into existence recently, and the announcement is happening basically simultaneously with our stream. We both started our stream at 4 o'clock uh, Pacific, and yeah, I'm proud to say that we are doing the official Outward Realms podcast starting starting this month, I believe, maybe 2 weeks. Should have our first episode out. I believe the plan is to drop it on Valentine's Day. Yeah, so the 14th. And we're planning to do it every 2 weeks. We will have a nice format. The basics of the format right now, we'll be talking about products news first, like what we're actually up to as a company. Then we'll talk about the state of competitive play, if people have gone to events, if anything's going on. We'll talk about that to a little bit. And then um, there's going to be a lore section in every episode where we talk about the lore. And then if people have those lore questions from the Discord channel, that's where that stuff is going to get answered. That's why I asked for that. Now everyone knows. Please keep those questions coming, and we will make sure that those questions get answered. So that's where we're going to be flushing that out, and hopefully getting a lot more people involved with and aware of the setting. And I'm about to drop the into our Discord where all the pictures for this are going. I just put the Outward Realms podcast logo into there, and so yeah, expect that it'll be available wherever you get your podcasts. Um, expect that on Valentine's Day this month, and then every 2 weeks afterwards. And my co-host is actually speaking inside of the channel, and it's Drew Bishop Sai. Um, very I know him as Drew Bishop. Um, he is local to my community. And he was formerly part of the Fangs Out X-Wing podcast. He went top 16 at Worlds in X-Wing in 2015, and he loves everything bugs and dinosaurs by his own admission. He has been posting excellently painted Hexagoda models into our Discord for a while now, as Hive King Tomb Tyrant, or something like that. I believe that's Hive King Tomb Tyrant, which is a great combination of names, none of which are Outward Realms. So, shame on Drew for that. But in all seriousness, we're super glad to have him. I'm glad to be doing this with him. I think he brings an excellent energy that should run, a nice complement to my style, which is a little bit straightforward, a little bit dry. Um, he's much more energetic and excitable than I am. He's also an excellent sportsman in the game and an excellent ambassador for the community, whatever community he's part of, and and all excellent ambassador for the community and for tabletop wargaming in general. And I think he's perfect fit for co-host. So I'm super proud to have him. Thank you, Drew. We're very excited to get this started. Also, he's pretty new to the game and he's going to have a lot of great questions and insight. And I expect him to be playing a lot more. He's going to play both games, so should be very good. He's in the channel and he's on our. No, it says okay, so the connection said unstable, so I paused for a second. It's the Best in Tabletop Network, run by the Best in Faction podcast, which is what they're opening up to. They're going to have a number of new podcasts. We're just one of them. If you love 40K and you want to see more quality content, please head on over to that network, and we're part of it too. So thank you to Colin and Mitch and Chuck and all those guys. Really appreciate the invite. Really happy to be there. Okay, next is it's laggy. I apologize. Let's see if there's anything we can do on our end. All right. Try to help it out just a smidgen. All right, hopefully I'm not lagging anymore because yeah, Tang at Nightfall, come on. Okay, so now let's talk about some new stuff. This is the dessert that everyone came here for, and we have a little something for every faction. We're gonna go. Everyone knows that we have 2 expansions planned. We are launching Shadow War this year as well. It's our other big launch. This is the first expansion for Outward Realms. It is 3 units per expansion, and it's very exciting. There's some great stuff in Shadow War. Where I'll talk a little bit about the lore perspective of that as my voice gets drier and harder to understand. The lore piece of it is in history, when an army builds itself up, it builds itself up to fight itself. And you'll notice in the first wave, in the initial release for Outward Realms, all the factions are pretty good at killing each other. This is not accidental. That's part of the little technological / historical piece to that. But as time goes on, armies and weapons change to adapt to their enemies. And when you're operating on a galactic scale, that could take a little while, but it's starting to happen in the setting, as you might imagine. So everyone's starting to adapt to each other. And I am looking at our, let's see. Let's go ahead and I'm going to reveal a Shadow War. This is the Realms reveal. So a Shadow War unit for the Realm, which I think is very exciting. One of the units coming out in Shadow War are called Augment Commandos. These are a different kind of augment soldier. They are more special forces driven. They're part of this. They're part of this bigger organization called the Omega Group, and they have a lot of good capabilities. They that I think people in the realm have been asking for and do want. We knew about that, I guess close to 2 years ago now, when all this stuff was initially designed. But I've had to really be patient and hold off on giving away too much. But one of the new head kits for the commandos and designed, plus helmets. You'll see that the other picture we show will have helmets, but I just dropped in the new head kit um, to add customization to your commando unit, and then of course the commandos themselves in helmets. So we have like our augment soldiers, they will be 5 poses to pick from, and you can see that they have sort of a lighter, a more sleek design to their armor. It's a little more streamlined, we'll say, which is uh, fitting given their role as like a stealthier, more advanced scouting type unit. And yeah, they are coming in Shadow War, and you can see them right there. So that is the realms reveal for the preview, and I think that's pretty exciting. Um, I think, and you could tell just from a modeling perspective, we've come even further along, right? The poses are more dynamic. We're able to add a little bit more flavor and customization. It's just we're just getting better at this. So expect that level of improvement across the entire line. Um, yeah, we're very proud of it. We're very happy. Sticking with Shadow War, I would like to give the Nightfall their portion. We don't have a model to reveal for them yet, or that we can reveal. It's still too early. So we're going to give a rule sheet for their new commander, which I think is pretty cool. These are the only rules we're going to show for the whole preview. So I hope that our Nightfall are excited about that. Um, and it's called the Invader, the Nightfall Invader. It is really really interesting unit. It's a skirmisher, so smaller. Um, decent move, the 2+ attack that you see on character style models. The most interesting thing is the field generator. There's no other rule in the game like this, where they can pick something they need each time they activate and get the benefit of that. As you can see, they have a few different choices here, providing a toolbox for that Nightfall player to get what they need for that. Um, and you'll see a reference to something called an infiltrator node, which is a free little bit of information. You know that another unit in the Nightfall Shadow War expansion are going to be the infiltrators. So there you go. Um, that is for our Nightfall folks. Um, I hope that makes you happy. I think it's very exciting. Um, yeah, there's nothing else quite like it. So that's something you can look forward to with Shadow War. But aside from Shadow War, or I should say, in conjunction with it, something that we've wanted to do, uh, the whole time is bring in more lore into the game in the way of named characters. The rulebook has 4 short stories in it, and we are one of those 2 that's about to be revealed um, is a character in the story, but I'm going to do that one last. So I'm going to talk about the Hexagoda special character. It's called the Black Queenling. It's a special Queenling variant that the Obsidian Swarm and those related to the Obsidian Swarm branch have been experimenting with. And it's a fascinating new creature. Still based off of the Queenling chassis, but very different in what it does, and plus a cool new pose. But I will let the picture of it do the speaking for me. So that's our Hexagodo reveal. We've got the Black Queenling, who will be a named character that will be available for purchase this year. Probably, I'm guessing around Q3. And our intent for all of the characters is we have two pieces. One is that we intend it to be $20 USD per character. I think that pricing model will be fine. And we intend to have convention exclusive sculpts. So for people who go to our conventions and such who want to get the alternate pose, I would like to have the alternate poses there for them at the same cost. There's no rules difference. It's just if you want the different pose, that's how you'll get access to it. But last but certainly not least, uh, the named the named character for who's from the story, who will be in the rule book that you'll get to read, is Salak for the Batra. He's currently in exile because he got outplayed politically, but and you'll as you read the story, you'll learn more about what's going on with him. Um, he's a very interesting Batra character. You're going to notice some differences in the style of what they're wearing. That is reflected in Shadow War, and you can glean some differences about what we're going to lean into for Shadow War. We're dealing with a new subclan um, who have a different philosophy than the other Botcher when it comes to certain things about martial prowess and combat. So, but without further ado, and this image has both poses in it. The topmost pose will be the generally available one, and the bottom pose will be the convention exclusive. So, and then, yep, we have dropped in Salak for our patient Batra folks. Yeah, I think he's extra cool. Um, and yeah, people are gonna like him. I hope you like the story that he's in, um, and I hope that you dig what he does on the table. Um, all four characters I think, are interesting, and yeah, there you go. So that's the big extra for the year. There are a bunch of people, even among our own staff, who are like, oh my gosh, named characters. But yeah, so we're there. Um, the other two the other two named characters will be revealed when we reveal the whole product line. There will not be a Kickstarter for those. I don't even know if there'll be a Kickstarter for Shadow War, to be honest with you. But the characters 100% will just go on the web store and we'll let everyone know when they're available. Yeah, and we're super excited. Like they're they'll have their own card. They'll have you get your pose. Yeah, I think it's great. These are not commander models. They do not replace a commander. They are not in charge of your army. You just bring one of them along if you want to. So, and you may notice that some of their points are interestingly configured. We tried our best to try to fill in gaps to get people up to 50 points in an easy way. So, but I think they're going to end up in a lot of rosters. None of them are slouches. All of them bring something spicy. So yeah, expect that this year. Yep, and that is the reveal. That is the preview. I hope that everyone had a great time. Thank you so much for showing up to it. Greatly appreciate it. We intend to do one of these, maybe two of them a year, probably, but probably just the one. Post LVO is a great time to do it because it's early in the year. Can talk about what we're planning on doing. But regardless, that was it. Thank you everyone for showing up. I will do one last review for questions. Make sure I don't miss anything. 8-bit weapon. Yeah. Not more death robots. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, looks like we got everyone. Thank everyone who showed up. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much.